Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Latvia. It's round 5 of the European 252-stroke Championship presented by FMF Racing. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us for the broadcast today here, just before 2 o'clock here on Saturday afternoon. And we're in a fantastic part of the world. Flying to Riga, about an hour or so south of there, you arrive at Kegums, tiny little place in the middle of nowhere, but what a fantastic piece of the world it is as well. The lake there that runs all the way through, all the way from Riga actually, all the way down as far as the racetrack and beyond. The circuit here, the Zelterzerk circuit, sand-based, been on the calendar now in MXGP since 2009. The only time we didn't come here was 2014, but we were here for Motocross the Nations, of course, that year. 24 degrees outside, gives you some idea as to where we are, pretty much central in Latvia. You can see the riders out on their sighting lap at the moment, but anyway, we just have 1 or 2 slight delays here at the moment, but we will show you a quick lap of the track in a moment. But see, everybody's just taking their seats right now. Here's the look of the track as it appears on paper, at least. Almost 1,800 meters long, still at 180 right. We're going in reverse direction as well, just like we did last year, so we'll come back past the pit lane. We'll do that in just a moment. But the EMX 2-stroke championship presented by FMF Racing sees Brad Anderson at the top of the leaderboard by 8 points now, having regathered the championship lead a week ago. Anyway, the riders, you'll see the points here. Anderson on 163, Mike Krass on 155, so he's just 8 points behind. Then we have Todd Kellett, who was your winner last time out in Russia. He's bumped himself up to 3rd, ahead of Václav Kovar and Darrow Lusbo. Then we've got Yuri Van Tender, Brad Todd, Pier Filippo Bertuzzo, Ben Putnam and Andrea Gorini. They are your top 10, but all eyes really, I would say realistically now, with 3 rounds to go, including this one, because we go to Imola and then Turkey as the final 2 rounds. We've got 8 points between 1st and 2nd, and then 13 points further adrift is Todd Kellett after that fantastic weekend. So a few moments ago then, the riders disappeared out on track for their sighting lap, and I've been down trackside watching the MX2 and MXGP free practice sessions a moment ago, and it is starting to get a little bit chewed up out there. We had a big rainstorm on Thursday afternoon when we got here, about 5 o'clock. Thunder, lightning, but this time of year it's very hot. It's 35 degrees when we landed on Thursday. It needed water. We do have an inbuilt watering system here as well, so there's plenty of depth in the ground this weekend. Anyway, some people are enjoying the views and the scenery at the moment, but a slight delay, as we said, just at the moment, just 1 or 2 minutes. But anyway, from the start straight, look, see the riders will be making their way to the line any moment now. It's about 85 meters or so down the start straight into turn 1. Remember, we used to go a lot tighter, but now we run slightly more open across the foxhole shot line, down past pit lane for the first time. And at the end of the straight, we go left. And that turn is on the inside of what used to be the old turn 2. So we will then disappear over the first climb, just here. Slight crest, and then we go left over this little single. And then we continue 180 left. Come through that part of the racetrack. Coming over this point here towards us. And then as we head out of this left-hander, we've got this single. You see it's a little bit lower to the left-hand side, higher on the right. Now, if you remember last year, MX2 race 1, Jorge Prado fell in this turn on the opening lap, got himself back from last to 10th. Hopefully no dramas there this year. Over the iPhone jump, and as you can see, it's just starting to rough up a little bit. Through this next left, you've got a split line, high to the inside, and those bumps on the faster line towards the boards there, they are really starting to cut out. 1 or 2 ruts on the finish line jump there, as you can see. And then we twist our way through here. This bank turn, not as high as it has been in the past, but a multitude of lines. That's the old finish line jump there. Swinging through here, past the Monster Energy Station. And then what used to be a downhill double is now obviously an uphill step. Landing here, this will get very bumpy throughout the course of the weekend. And then we come out of here. We're starting to head downhill now. Over the step down, over this little single, and then we have a double. and then another single. That's where the old waves used to be. And then we hit the first of 2 or 3 tabletop jumps. First one quite short. See how the ground's just starting to break down there. The middle one there, the Monster Energy tabletop, the longest of those jumps on the back straight. Then we got either a single, double into the corner. So either way, whichever way you want to do it. Through the right, over this jump here, and then into the left. Now, I've been down on the wave section here. If you go inside, particularly the MXGP bikes, they're able to go double from the, not many people doing it, double from the inside and staying left. You can double, 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 and transfer across the final double at the end. Or you can go wide, single, double, 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 and then these last 2 here on the corner, the last 2 doubles, I should say, they're about 15 meters apart before you hit the city jump here. Through the next right. And obviously, this used to be, what, turn 3 when we had it in the opposite direction, but this is working our way towards the end of the lap, of course, the tabletop there. Then we go right, takes us back down towards turn 1. Just here, look, little chicane, back on the start straight. And that's a brief overview of the circuit here. The Zelterzerk circuit, Latvia Kegums. The EMX 250 two-stroke riders are on the gate, getting ready to go. Here's how they line up for the grid today. Ken Bengston on his Husky with the fastest time, a 1:56.727. And he was 65 hundredths quicker than Mike Krass, the EcoMax Fuels KTM rider. And there he is, the former championship leader, lost that plate last week in Russia when he came home 4th overall with 2 4th-place finishes. Brad Anderson, the Verdi Substance KTM rider. Now, you may have seen Motohead online on Instagram. An interview has popped up there with Chad Reed, actually, saying how much he would like to come and race in Europe and do a European Championship race rather than an MXGP race, because Brad Anderson, and I remember because I handed out the awards that day, Church Bench 1996, so it was a BSMA Champion of Champions, and Anderson won the event, and I think Chad Reed raced in England for the first time, one of his first appearances in England that day, and it was him and Reed and Anderson that day. So might see a little bit of back and forth between those two on that, and if we can get Chad over here for a 2-straight race, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Anyway, Fly Racing, 15-second quarters, turn to 5, the gate about to drop here, race 1, 25 minutes plus 2, that's EMX 250. Presented by FMF Racing, and we are away. Some riders will spill around the outside, but side by side, the 1 and the 55. Anderson, the championship leader, and Krass to his outside. Then we've got the 28, I believe that might be, or 26 actually. So Nick Liekes on the Lagerfeld Racing KTM, new to the championship this weekend. Decided he wanted to fancy lining up there. Then just behind them, the number 80 of Ken Bengston. He was your pole man as everybody else comes through. Matteo Del Coco is in there around about 5th place as well. Over the line. We'll bring him over the line now, though. And it is Anderson from Krass, Nick Liekes, Ken Bengston, Matteo Del Coco, then Mario Tamai, Andrea Vendruscolo, Václav Kovar in 8th, Andrea Guarini 9, and Andero Luzbo is 10th. Then we've got Kellett 11, Jeff Oxtelmark, Pierre Filippo Bertuzzo, Kay Evan. And then Jan Splitov, Max Bulow, he was there last week in Russia. Rob Hollyoak, Marco Lolly, Michael Van Baarlen, Charlie Putnam. And then the rest of the riders down to 27th, 28th place. But Anderson is who leads the opening lap here at Latvia, round 5 of the EMX 250 two-stroke championship presented by FMF Racing. See Krass there just getting cleaner over the double, single, double into the corner. It takes him wide, though, in the next turn, and he's aware that the guy behind him, the number 20, 26 has been dropped back. It's Ken Bengston on the Husky. It's a stretch. Go double, double crash, just getting over there. As he continues to go after Anderson here. See what the lap time is at the end of this first lap, of course, finish line to finish line. They hit the line early on in the lap. But it's Anderson who leads. Expect it to get choppy through there during the course of the weekend. Yes, they will flatten it down as well for each start, but there'll be some high banks there and some choppy braking bumps, but down past pit lane they go. There's the 86 and the 731. So Matteo Del Coco has been passed by Mario Tamai. But Ando holding a nice tight line here. This is more Mike Krass's domain, if you like. Didn't speak. I spoke to him this morning, asked him what happened in Russia, just said he was just too nervous, didn't have faith in the front end. It was always twitching, the hard slick conditions, not his thing at all, and decided to settle for the points in the end. He is only 8 back after all. So Anderson leads. There he is in that top of your shot. Krass, as they go around the back of the house, the old finish line jump there. And Bengston. There's a 62. So Andero Luzbo not making a great start, just picking off riders. Václav Kovar just ahead of him on the step up. The 101, or the 101, no, he's just behind him actually, so he's found his way past Kovar. Just there, look. So Vendraskolo, the guy in yellow that Luzbo just passed, and he's got Del Coco just here, closest towards us, and number 86 on the KTM. Takes a look across, single, and if you can pre-jump your way, you can go over the outside. Vendraskolo then, 731. Doing his best on that light blue coloured Yamaha. A little bit squirrely though through the wave section. The other option there is to go inside, missed out the last one. Del Coco going after Luzbo, but Luzbo is the guy with his head down. He currently sits 5th in the championship, does Andero Luzbo. 3 points behind Václav Kovar. 26. Nick Leakins. Leakins going after... in fact, he's just been passed by Mario Tamai as well. So Tamai starting to look semi-interested here, but so too Luzbo. Luzbo around the outside, getting ready to go past the number 26 of Leakins of the Larkerveld Racing KTM from the Netherlands. Will he go high to the inside, or will he cut across to the outside? Or he goes high, and that opens up the door for Luzbo. So after 2 laps, Anderson just over a second clear. Fastest lap of the race so far, 2 minutes exactly, 0.057. Mike Krass about 0.2 slower than the race leader. Ken Bengston third. He's already down 2 seconds on Krass though. See him there in the background. So Krass, obviously the EcoMax Fuel rider in second position in the fluorescent colours. Got that nicely. And though just a little bit long on the number 1 Verdi Substance KTM. So double. Not all the same height either, makes it difficult. But Anderson just about gets his way over there as well. So you see there, the outside line, you can go single, double, all the way around the outside. See what happens in MXGP a little later on. There's 1 or 2 riders using different combos. Short burst down the start straight. Ando, Krass, Bengston. So Ken Bengston going after the 2 championship protagonists. Here's Luzbo, just found his way past Mario Tamai. So he will now move up into 5th place. The A1M Husqvarna rider, they've got a big presence here this weekend, of course, being just over the border in Estonia. A place I'm sure that Luzbo will know well, coming into land pretty high on the takeoff there, Mike Krass, but not able to close in on Anderson. 59.2 though, Ken Bengston. He's the fastest rider on track at the moment, in 3rd place. And then we've got 9 seconds further back, Todd Kellett in the 201s. So Kellett not getting a great start, and he's now got a lot of work to do. He is setting his own personal best laps at the moment, though, but see that step down, getting chewed up on the takeoff. Ken Bengston is taking a couple of laps just to blend into this race, if you like. All of a sudden, what's he got for Krass? Goes to the inside. Corners like he's on rails. And he goes through easily as well. So Ken Bengston then picking off the rider who sits second in the championship, the rider who's had 2 round wins this season so far. And going after the championship leader, Brad Anderson. I think Anderson will know that with Bengston here, putting in the fastest time in time practice. Watch this here, he just goes to the inside. Krass didn't really know he was there. He went to the outside, chased the line, but had to yield. He knew Bengston was there in the end. So Bengston then with his head down. He set the fastest lap last time around, a 59.2. Now that he's found his way past Krass, going after Anderson, is Ando going to up the ante here, or is he going to reel him in and take his first ever European Championship race win? New to the series, of course. Nothing in it. Look, 1.1 as they came over the line, but all of a sudden, Anderson is being caught. So Ken Bengston definitely riding with a little bit of urgency here. He's a lot more fluid around the track. He might make a move here, but Ando's job is to close him down. And Ando gets over the step down. Bengston wasn't able to. All of a sudden, game on. Anderson realizes there's a threat here for a race win. As long as he's ahead of Krass, though, that's the thing he needs to be concerned about. Yeah, takes a look across. Holds a tight line. That's the line that was effective last time around, but Bengston goes outside this time. Oh, and he was short. Couldn't get over there. He wasn't sure what Anderson was going to do, whether he was going to take him wide on the jump, so he just pulled out of the attack. All of a sudden, Krass, who was 3 seconds off the lead at the start of this lap, looks like he's lost a little bit more ground to his main rival, #1 Anderson, on that 30 substance KTM. This is the battle for the lead right here. Remember, this used to be turn 2 a couple of years ago. Ken Bengston obviously trying something different this weekend. Fancies the challenge of the 252-stroke series. Maybe just needs to build up some confidence. But he certainly looks like he's enjoying it, being up at the sharp end here. Right, this was the attempt a moment ago. In fact, he did go through. Anderson smartly ran it wide, but then he gets on the gas, has a nicer, cleaner takeoff on the step down. Got his way back through, and then Ando took a tight line here. Bengston thought he'd got the invitation to go around the outside, but then decided, no, not going to happen. And came up short. So Anderson continues to lead then. Pushing on. Goes inside this time. You realise it worked for Bengston last time, and he tried to get out of that turn early, and again, he's not too clean through that step down, but this time it's alongside Anderson as they hit the double jump. What's he going to do at the end of the straight here after the tabletops? Is he going to keep short and cut to the inside here, or? Well, he went inside. He's going to try again in this next turn as well. Kellett still fourth, but again, still 11 seconds down on Krass or thereabouts, so got some work to do. So Anderson goes to the outside. It is pretty leery through there, actually, when you jump through that left-hander. Bengston not letting him out of his sights, though. See how those braking bumps are starting to appear now down the inside. Going into that first corner. Ando too defensive. think that was intentional. His left hand came off the handlebar. Not sure whether he gesticulated to his team, Anderson, as he came past pit lane, or told Bengston, okay, you can go through. I don't want to get involved in this little battle. But maybe we can see that again, actually, as Anderson just went down past pit lane. It might have been just grabbing tear-offs, but he stalls, locks up the back end there as well. So, oh, he's got issues with the goggles, hasn't he? Look, he's looking for a roll-off on the right-hand side. You're not normally on that side, so another pull on the left-hand side. So a little bit distracted at the moment, Anderson. So watch this here. Anderson goes tight to the inside, and then he runs it very, very wide. Takes a look over the shoulder, as if to say, come on, mate. Yeah, you go. Get out of there. So Anderson doesn't want to get caught in a battle unnecessarily. So Bengston leads. 1.5 seconds clear of Anderson, whose main job and main focus really is to let this guy go, because he's not a threat in the championship chase at the moment. But Anderson has been caught by Krass all of a sudden. So just behind the race leader here, Krass now all over the back of Ando as they go into that left-hand turn. So Ando can't afford any mistakes now. He's been allowed to get distracted by Ken Bengston, who's not in the championship fight. And that's given a second wind to Krass here. The 55 in the fluorescent colours. Eco Max Fuels rider. He won't need a second invite if he realises there's an opportunity to go after the #1 and the championship leader at the moment. See what the gap is when they come over the line, because here, all of a sudden, Krass realises, you know what? If I can up my pace, get past Anderson and Ken Bengston, all of a sudden there's 5 points the difference rather than the 2 if he just passes Anderson on his own. 25 points for a win, 22 for second, 20 for third, remember. So Anderson needs to refocus. And Krass needs to maintain his composure if he's to execute a move on the #1 just ahead of him here. The gap between Bengston and Anderson last time, 1.5, and it was 4.3 to Krass. They hit the line now, and 7 laps complete. A 2:02.1 for your race leader. Anderson at 2:03.3, 2:01.5. Coming down from first to third, 3.7 seconds that gap. But Anderson, 2.7 behind your race leader. Kellett here, the lead rider in this shot, the 998 on the Yamaha, your winner last weekend. Took his first race win, followed it up with a second. He knew that was good enough, but he's under attack here from Andero Luzbo. What was even more sweet was that Kellett wasn't even going to go to Russia. Last minute thing, just him and his missus. Whoa, a little bit squirrely as he came into there, hit 1 or 2 holes, just bounced him offline, Kellett. Managed to regather himself. Just the other side of the jump there, and Anderson now under a proper attack from the 55, who's a lot cleaner through the waves. And Ando not able to get over the double, and he bobbles, and he's messed up here. An easy route round the outside for the 55 then. All of a sudden, championship goes from 8 points to 6 points when they hit the line this time around. And Krass will just get his head down now. He'll definitely try and chase down this guy here. That mark between them, but at the end of the day, Krass had made the pass there. Ando had gone back by him, but then he just lost out at the end of the next wave section. He wasn't clean. Had to go 4 singles rather than 2 doubles. Also, he's got some work to do. There's a championship leader there, #1. That marker here. Here is Kellett. He's in 4th. He's still got Andero Luzbo behind him, just there, number 62 on the A1M Husqvarna. Mario Tamai, about 9 seconds further back. He's in 6th place. Václav Kovar and a gas now to 7th. It's just past Nick Liakas. Matteo Del Coco and Gianluca Deghi. They are your top 10. Vendoscolo now 11. Kay Evan is now 12. Gorini 13. Oxel Mark 14. Charlie Putnam. Jaap Janssen. Seb Zanato. Joshua van der Linden 18. Marco Lolly and Jan Splitov up over the step up. Cuts back across to the right-hand side. Cleaner on the run up towards that little hip jump there. He's got his hands full here. Did a good job, didn't he? Closing the gap down to 13 to Mike Krass a week ago, but Krass is going to gain another 4 points. If things stay as they are. There's Krass at the end of the waves, look, in yellow, green. (919), Christian Simonson keeps out of the way, but lucky escape there for Lusbo. Looked like the front came up, but snatched his arms out of his sockets as he went into the next jump. And just riding a little roughshod there. Going for the momentum around the outside there. He's not scared, is he? Proper honey badger stuff. The race that Krass is putting on is really not going to hurt Anderson so much, the 2 points, but you don't want to be giving away 2 points here, especially when we've got Ken Bengston in the mix as well. The gap was 3.8 between first and second last time around. Splits Bengston as we look at Kellett and Lusbo. 37.9, 37.7, so Krass pulls 2/10 back. 28.0, 27.5, pulls another half second back. 34.3, 34.1, pulls another 2/10 back. And about the same at section 4 as they hit the line. That gap now 3 seconds. A little bit of squeaky brakes going on there for either Kellett or Lusbo, maybe both. Not clean over the little tabletop there, out of that left-hander. Kellett not clean. Lusbo cleaner. Heavy landing for the Brit. Not quite a drag race to the end of this straight, but Kellett, different technique through there. Lifted the front, slammed into the takeoff, used that to pre-jump over the downside of the next one. Lusbo looking desperate though. Obviously got a lot of support just from across the way in Estonia. Obviously a bit of local support for him. Probably from all of the Baltic states actually. Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia maybe on the side of the 62 of Lusbo. Again, you're looking for that slingshot around the outside. Has he made it stick? Not quite. Door shut in his face as they go into that final chicane. Lusbo, who's only had one podium visit so far this year. That was third overall in Russia a week ago, when he had a second and a third in the 2 races. He'd like to get on the podium again here this weekend if he can. Kellett making it very difficult for him at the moment. Over the line we go. 10 laps in the books. Krass now 2.3 seconds behind Ken Bengston. Still got a lot of work to do though, and there's just less than 4 minutes plus 2 to go in this first EMX 252 stroke championship race, presented by FMF Racing here at Latvia Kegums, the Zelta Zergs circuit. Kellett a lot cleaner through there this time around. Matteo Del Coco has lost a couple of positions. Andrea Guarini and Jeff Oxelmark moving up to 12th and 13th respectively. But still Bengston leading the way from Krass. 2.3 seconds the gap between them. Anderson is third, and he's lost 7 seconds to Ando. And he's getting caught here by Kellett. So Bengston making his way up towards the back of pit lane here. Again, 38.6, 37.8. Bengston and Krass. 26.5. Sector 2 has killed Mike Krass. Lost a whole heap of time 26.5, 28.4, and maybe a bit of a late let-off for Bengston. But Ando is not out of the woods yet. 2 back markers here, and then the guys just behind them, coming up any moment now into the first corner. There's a number 1 of Anderson. He is being caught by Kellett and Lusbo just there. So all of a sudden, a 3-way battle for 3rd place then, which is definitely not what Anderson needs. Not at this late stage in the race. Just wondering whether he pushed too early and got some arm pump. It's not like he's never felt the pressure, the weight of expectation from carrying the number 1 plate in the championship lead. Of course, the former 2-time, the 2-time champ and current championship leader and defending champion, Anderson. Hits the line, but 2:04.7, 2:02s for the 2 guys behind him, Kellett and Lusbo, and all of a sudden he's got traffic ahead of him as well. So the number 25, Jordi van Oorsel, does his best to stay out of the leaders' battles here. Oh, some serious clutch action going on there. Anderson, he is almost going to lose this 3rd place. This is going to play nicely in the hands of Mike Krass. He'll be buying a pint of water to Todd Kellett at the end of the race here, because he's just gone past his championship rival, taken 3rd position away. And there could be more, because Lusbo, he's put on a good charge, halted at Todd Kellett, but he might find his way past the number 1 here, Anderson. And Anderson untidy again, just he's broke his rhythm, and Lusbo goes around the outside. So from 3rd to 5th in about 3 corners for Anderson. And that is going to be music to the ears of number 55, Mike Krass. Here's Bengston. 3.7 seconds. He weathered the storm that was closing in on in the form of Mike Krass. There he is, just in the background, so pretty much opposite loops. These 2. There's Bengston. Here's Krass. Ooh, it's going to be very tight for the line. I think it's going to be 3 laps to go, you know, as he goes through. Yeah, had about 2 seconds on the clock. That's given Anderson an extra lap to try and rectify this situation here. He's got to throw everything back at Lusbo. Do the championship in a second. But Bengston leads 6 seconds clear of Krass. Krass happy to sit there in 2nd place. 3rd is Kellett, and I wonder if Krass has been looking over his shoulder every now and again just to see where Ando is, and probably knows, or he will know, that Ando is in 5th place by the time he hits the pit board. Next time around, probably did know already. So all of a sudden, championship down to 2 points. With 3 laps to go here, because Anderson now on 1.79. If he stays where he is in 5th, Krass on 1.77. So a disappointing last couple of laps for Anderson. Here's what happened. Back markers got in the way, but maybe bad line choice. Kellett had a bit more flow. That move put him into 3rd on his Yamaha, Kellett. And then 2 corners later, 3 corners later, Anderson didn't get the drive through the waves. Couldn't really pick up the pace. Lusbo was committed, and he moved into 4th. So last week we saw a struggling Mike Krass, not able to operate on the hard, slick surfaces in the way that he wanted to, and that obviously favoured Todd Kellett and Anderson. Anderson took over the championship leader's red plate as a result of that. But this weekend, in race 1 so far, Anderson struggling. He'll need to come out fighting, firing on all cylinders tomorrow if he is to maintain this championship lead. So, let's say Ken Bengston here, fastest rider on track today. He decides, right, I'm going to go 1-1, take the overall. Krass takes 2nd, Anderson takes 3rd. All of a sudden, we're back down to a tie-break situation, and it goes on race wins in that case. Who takes the championship leader's red plate? Anderson currently has, 2, 3, 4. Krass has 3. So in that situation, Anderson will still hold the championship leader's red plate based on his race wins, not the overall wins, which Krass has more of. But fantastic ride this from Ken Bengston. His first appearance in the EMX 252 Stroke Championship campaign. Eco Max Fuels KTM rider though, Mike Krass. He'll be rubbing his fingers, rubbing his hands with glee at the moment at the prospect of being just 2 points behind Anderson, and didn't even win the race. Yeah, look, just keeping an eye on what's going on here, isn't he? Just a sneaky look over to his right, knows exactly what's going on, knows that Anderson is no longer in third. Pit boards would have told him that. Changed his lineup there, double, and then around the last single. Anderson has 20 seconds over Mario Tamai in sixth, but to be 19.5 seconds off with 2 laps to go, not really what Anderson would have expected of himself. Václav Kovar, no round this year in Czech Republic for him, but the Gas rider in 7th position. I wonder if he's still strapped up, because he had that heavy landing on a jump a week ago, didn't he, in Russia? Circulated in the first race. He did finish the second race in 5th. So maybe just trying to keep his hopes alive, maybe with a potential 3rd place finish at the end of the season. But if you're riding injured, then you're never going to be on your best form. Anyway, Bengston into his final lap. 5 seconds clear of Krass. Looking pretty good with it as well. Is the Husqvarna rider. Not sure whose idea it was to stick him in the 2-stroke category this weekend, but clearly working for him. Hasn't been flustered at all, has he? Didn't make the best start, but he's made the best of the situation and found his way past Krass. Anderson let him by, didn't want to get involved. But then Anderson now finds himself down in 5th place. Here he is. Right, story of Ken Bengston's race then coming up. First move was on Krass. That put the Swede into 3rd, committed to the inside. Then he made his move on Anderson. That pass was for the lead. Anderson responded immediately, and he had to go again. And then in the end, he went around the outside of Ando. Had to come up short on the jump, but then Ando just let him by in the end. Just said, look, get out of my race. Stay out of my face. Checker flag awaits. Number 80, Ken Bengston, takes his first win in EMX competition, and it's in the 252-stroke class, presented by FMF Racing, and he wins it by a comfortable 6 seconds over Mike Krass. So Bengston then throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. Krass 2nd, Kellett 3rd, 7/10, 3/4 seconds between Kellett and Lusbo, and we wait for Ando to come through. Any moment now. There he is, the number 1 on the Verdi Substance KTM. The gap now down to 2 points as we head into race 2 tomorrow morning. Then we've got a bit of a gap to Mario Tamai some 20 seconds later. Here he, no, not quite. So Tamai goes through then, 28 seconds down on Anderson in 6th place. Kovar should be through any moment now. Nick Lierkes pushed down to 11th on the final lap by Andrea Vendruscolo. So Vendruscolo picking up a top 10. To go with the 2/9 that he picked up in Portugal. There is Kovar. Seemed like a tough day at the office for the Czech rider. Waiting patiently for Ken Bengston to make his way back down to the waiting zone, to the winner's enclosure, to grab a quick word with Lisa's Leylands, if she's around. Obviously, race still going on here, but here is our winner, Ken Bengston.
Ken Bengston, congratulations. Your first EMX win presented by FMF. Tell us about that race.
No, it was a good race. I had a pole position, so I went out 4th in the start, I think, and then went up to 1st. Could ride my own pace. Yeah, it just felt good, and then also I knew that if I had good speed, I could come here and talk to you, so that motivated me a lot.
Good job. Thank you.
Smooth. He had to travel from Sweden to Latvia, though, just to grab a quick word with it, didn't he? Anyway, Ken Bengston, hope the mileage was worth it. The number 80 takes his first win in EMX 250 competition, wins a 252-stroke race here, presented by FMF Racing. Race 1 at the Zelterzerk circuit here at Kegums. Wins it comfortably as well. Put the two championship title rivals, Krass and Kellett and Anderson, in their place. And nice little cheeky look back there on the finish as well. Confirmation then of EMX 252-stroke race 1 presented by FMF Racing. Ken Bengston, your winner. Mike Krass second. Kellett third. Just. Luzbo fourth. Anderson was fifth. Mario Tomai was sixth. Václav Kovar 7 and Gianluca Deghi was 8. Kay Eben was 9 and Vendruscolo found his way past Nick Lierkes on the final lap. Andrea Gorini 12, Jeff Oxelmark, Matteo Del Coco, Josh van der Linden, Seb Zanato. And then we had Jaap Janssen, Charlie Putnam, Jan Splithoff and Marco the Lollyman in 20th place. But Anderson, though, his lead has been slashed from 8 to 2 after that performance in race 1. Take some look at some highlights, shall we? Right, highlights coming up then from MX 250 two-stroke race 1, presented by FMF Racing. The gate dropped. Krass over on the left-hand side. Anderson about 7 gates over. Those two came out side by side as they went into turn 2. Lierkes was there, number 26 in third place. Bengston about 5th or 6th position at this point, quickly into 4th, and then quickly into 3rd by the time they hit the line. And Darrell Luzbo didn't make a great start. He was around about 8th or 9th place. Kovar just a couple places behind him, but he was making light work and pretty much was up into, 5th or 6th place with that move on Vendruscolo and the 26 of Nick Lierkes. Krass under attack, found himself going from 2nd to 3rd as Ken Bengston charged through, and Anderson was like, oh, okay then, you want it that much, and then Anderson maybe mistakenly got involved in a battle that he didn't really need to. Managed to hang on to the lead, but eventually he just said, dude, just go. Get on with your own race. Got a championship to win. But then that played into the hands of Krass. Krass caught Anderson, made the move to 2nd. Kellett was then in 4th, being caught by Luzbo, and Luzbo's pace helped push Kellett onto the rear end of Anderson. And with a couple of laps to go, the 998, the Englishman, on his Yamaha, was past the number 1 of Anderson and into 3rd. Ando down to 4th, and a couple of corners later, lost his rhythm through the waves, and Luzbo moved into 4th. Ando was now 5th, and the championship lead was cut to just 2 points. Václav Kovar just cruised round in the end on the 101 gas to come home in 7th, but no one was a match for the number 80 of Ken Bengston, who went on to win for the first time in the MX 250 two-stroke, presented by FMF Racing. So now that he's fully motivated, hopefully he'll get a good night's sleep and line up for tomorrow. But we'll take a look at some of the best moments from that race, and when we return, it'll be at 4 o'clock for EMX 250 race 1. We'll see you then.